Let's go.
I can't even see my monitor. I can't see my monitor. This monitor's too high. Hello, everybody. 1 second. My monitor's too high. I can't see. Oh, honestly. Louise said, should we go live? Yeah, go live. Oh my God, my monitor's too high.
You had like 3 warnings.
Yeah. Well, 3 warnings.
Let's go live, yeah.
3
you
warnings.
Ready to go live then? Yeah. Let's go live now
Let's
then,
go
yeah.
live. Hello, everybody. Are we okay? Are we on? I think we're on.
Yep.
It's warm again, Louise.
Can you hear us, everybody?
There's Louise. Louise has a different camera position today. You're over here now. You
Oh,
look over there.
I don't know. I'm still looking at the
And
polisher.
there isn't one there.
Yeah.
You're over here now.
Okay. And more importantly, can everyone hear Andrew?
No, more importantly, can everyone hear Louise?
That's being you for a change.
Oh, you're just trying to get away with next week, aren't you? Because I'm going to be in the driving seat next week, so to speak. Everybody, so how's everybody today? Everyone is chatty. Good. That's what I'd like to see. Gosh, making bezel, blah, blah. Okay, so how's everybody today? What have we got to report on this week? What day is today?
The most exciting news is
what's the exciting news, Louise?
Oh well, rather our system has picked.
Yes.
Our first monthly winner.
First at the bench monthly winner.
Yes.
Lady was Andrea Davis.
Yes.
We are allowed to say.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrea was thrilled with her Durston
Bangle forming die set
yes.
that she chose.
Yeah. So, good news
yes.
for Andrea, yes.
And if you want to be in with a chance of winning prizes that are worth like £200-300 every single month, all you got to do is become a paid member of At The Bench. And every month we will pick a random person, or the actual formula that we put into the spreadsheet picks a random winner, and we contact you, and then you've got a choice. And I think this coming month now there's a choice of 3 items. You can choose one of 3 items, again all kindly donated by Durston, which is very kind of Matthew, so do appreciate that. So yeah, Andrea lives in the French Alps.
How delightful. And we watched the French Alps yesterday, didn't we, on the tour?
We did. The Tour de France went and finished at top of the French Alps. It was raining though. It didn't look that impressive when it was raining, but I'm sure when it snows, it's an absolute amazing place. But it does look nice. So there we go. So you've got to be in it to win it. You don't have to do anything. We're not asking you to do, I don't know, we're not asking you to jump through hoops to win these prizes, because everybody is busy enough as it is without the hassle of doing things to compete. We don't ask you to like, to share, to tag or anything like that. All you got to do is be a paid member, and that's all we ask. And then you got a chance of winning these fabulous prizes. I think next month, I think we got some Fordham pieces to give away as well, and GRS the month after, and more Durston. So be a paid member, and that's what you can win. Anything else, Louise?
Yes. In other news, we've sent out an email to all the paid members, basically asking you for your feedback. So it's just a simple form, tick the boxes and just tell us what you think. What
improvements?
Yeah, so basically we want to know what we can do better.
Yes.
So just tell us what you would like to see on At The Bench, what features, how you think the member site can be improved, and yeah, we can look at all of that, and you can win potentially your membership for free.
Exactly.
We're giving away 3 memberships basically as a thank you for participating. So 3 lucky members will win back their memberships for a year.
And you've obviously got to put your name and email address to be contacted in should you win.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So I know some people have already responded, which is great. We've already got quite a few responses.
Cool. And we know it's not perfect. We know
we won't be offended. You can say what you really think.
There are plenty of things we need to do.
We've got thick skin.
This is the thing. It started out 11 years ago with 50 films. 50 films, easy to navigate, easy to find your way around. As time has gone on, more films have got added.
I think it's still easy to find your way around, though. It's just...
It's knowing how to find your way around, isn't it? Maybe
just a video on that in itself would be really handy. Just a 20-minute film on this is the quickest way to navigate your way around the site.
Yes, And I think, yes, you can put in your search term of like soldering, all the soldering films come up and so forth. And I understand that, but perhaps we can have like an introduction. If you're new, these are the films that you can look at. If you're an intermediate, well, these are the films that you need to look at.
Oh my gosh, Jill is asking what's the deadline for the feedback. I completely forgot to factor in a deadline. So shall we say...
Adjust the form.
Yes.
All the forms are going out today.
They've literally just gone out today, yeah. Thank you, Jill.
Make an
I just left
Louise.
it open-ended, yeah, which is not good. So we'll say...
A week?
Shall we? Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Come
say
back
a week
here in
today.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a week today would be fine.
Yes, and I'll thank you, Jill. I'll document that.
There's always something, isn't there? There is always something. So yeah, so check your folders today. It came out, it had, I can't remember what the title was now, to be honest.
Horatia, your email went to my spam folder, so I hope everyone doesn't miss it. Yeah, check your spam if you remember.
Add the no reply at thebench.com. Add that to your address book and it should not then go into your spam or your junk mail, or simply put a little flag it and drag it back into your inbox.
Ooh, Romy's saying I haven't received your email. If you check your
there's thousands of emails to go out, and they go out They go out every hour.
Oh, so if you haven't had it by tomorrow, Romy, email me Louise at andrewberry.co.uk and I'll just send you the link.
Yeah. Mary hasn't received it either.
Oh, okay.
It literally, we started the process, what time? 2 o'clock? No, this lunchtime.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah.
So literally, it's only had 2 hours and it goes out, because of obviously everything goes through Amazon. You can still send out thousands of emails every hour. We don't. We just send out so many every hour. So it may take 2 days for the thousands to go out.
And it is only going out to paid members because it's the paid members. It's the paid member site that we're asking for the feedback on. But yeah, Romy, if you don't get the email or anyone else a paid member, if after a couple of days, get in touch with me and I'll make sure you get the link.
Yes, exactly. Gillian, yes, I think perhaps what we could do, obviously, back in those days, 11 years ago, we didn't have broadband, we didn't have the speeds that we got now, and yes, we had to optimise them for the speed then. So perhaps, yes, some of the very old films, perhaps we can just re-render.
But you look so cute in the old films.
I'm not going to redo them. I'll re-render them. So I'll still look as cute as what I did then in the later films, but perhaps in a better definition.
Still cute.
Thanks, Louise. That's very kind of you. You are so kind. You are so... What are you after? Bottle of wine tonight. That's what you're after. Scrapbook Ranger. Yeah, yours with your spam. So yeah, check your spam folders and so forth.
Great. Okay.
But they will be going out over a set period of time every hour. If you haven't had it yet,
lots going into junk folders, so yeah, do check your junk files, and you can allow us, can't you? What's the word? You can make it so we don't go in your junk.
Yeah, make it so you're not junk, or add us to your address book.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I meant to say.
That's exactly right. Yep, that's exactly what it's all about. Next Monday we've got Kerry from Gemology Rocks.
So excited.
Where I'm sitting at the moment. I think we're going to push the bench over there. I'm going to get the 2 seats by here and put the whiteboard behind.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. So a couple of people have sent in photographs of stones. We can't diagnose or say what stones are via the photos.
No.
Yeah, we can talk about them. We can give... I don't even know if Kerry will give a possible identity, but... we won't be able to tell you what they are from the photograph.
No, but any questions you've got regarding
sometimes
stones.
the photo is handy with the question, isn't it? So,
That's going to be going on next week. Louise and Kerry are going to be sat here, and I'm going to be sat over there asking the questions. With roles reversed.
It's going to be strange, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. Thank you, Dan, for filling the form already. Thank you so much indeed. Anything else? Oh my gosh.
Don't think so.
Jilly, your purple shirt's out of stock, so that's going to have to be ordered when the purple shirts are back in stock. But yeah, purple V-neck we can get. All the pre-orders now have been ordered, so all the t-shirts, the bigger the balls, the flatter your bottom, have now been ordered. They'll be with me within a week's time, and then we'll be posting them out to everybody. So thank you everybody who has pre-ordered the bigger the balls, the flatter your bottom t-shirt. Some people love them and said they can't wear them because obviously perhaps it's a bit naughty to saying the word balls. You know, Jason blushes every time you say the word balls to Jason. So thank you everybody who's ordered those. They're back up to £20 now, so thank you very much for that. And that's it. And I've got a new pen. I've got a nice thick black pen for my whiteboard.
You're welcome.
Courtesy of Louise, who ordered them for me last week.
I've been super efficient this week.
And thank you also to everybody who ordered the gemstone book from Sally Spencer as well. That was really nice. Thank you all who ordered. Did we have the book a second?
Yes, I had a lovely email and a chat with Sally, which was really
so this
lovely.
is the book that we were talking about last week, The Jeweller's Quick Reference Guide to Working with Gemstones. And it is a brilliant, brilliant book. Carborundum, for instance, it tells you what it can be done. You've got things like abrasives, barrel polisher, kiln, file, pickle, and tells you what to do, what they can go. Can they go through the steamer? Can they go through the barrel? Can you put it into the pickle? Can they be heated up? An absolute brilliant book. I mentioned it last week because I thought it was really good. It's not available anywhere apart from sallyspencer.co.uk. It's a brilliant, brilliant book.
I think it was showing out of stock, but it is in stock.
Yes.
Or certainly it was last week when I spoke to Sally, but yes.
Yeah, but it's now back in stock.
Yes, well it was in stock, but it was just showing up as that, but it is. It is available, yes. And it's available in UK, Canada,
She'll post it to
USA, yes. So, yeah, just get in touch with Sally.
So sallyspencer.co.uk. But thank you everybody who have ordered. It's a very, very good book.
Yeah, Diana's saying got the gemstone book too. Really great, very useful. Cool.
Super duper. Thank you all very much. I think that's about all we need to say, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Just trying to think now, anything else?
Penny's loving the book too. Hi, Penny.
Good. It is a very good book, I must admit. That's it. Okay, so it is Monday, the 5th of July. It is time for our question and answer session. Louise, may we have our first question?
Janet's saying COVID numbers are on the increase in Fuerteventura. Oh
dear.
no, level 2, maybe level 3 red list soon. Oh no, I'm sorry to hear that. Stay safe, lovely.
Jules, thank you very much. Sandy,
Hi,
thank you very much. Yep.
Did I see something about ghani? Has anyone here attempted you haven't?
I have, yeah, I've done it, yeah. So Dee's asking, how much would you recommend to spend on a mitre jig chenier clamp?
Where are you seeing that?
It's on my screen in front of me.
Stop.
Stop.
Here we are, we're at the top.
About 30 to 40 pounds. Anyway, so I start again.
Yeah.
It's Monday, the 5th of July. It's 4 p.m. time for our question and answer session. Louise is frantically scrolling through the chat to ask me the first question.
Okay.
Louise, have you found the first question?
No, but Tanya's saying, hope you're all good. I'm learning loads at the bench because I'm dyslexic. The films help me so much, so thank you.
That's very nice. This is the thing, isn't it? One of my kids is partially dyslexic, and she just learns in a different way. And she's gone on to amazing things. So really proud of her.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the thing. Some people learn better from film. Some people learn better from reading, from understanding. If you can read and you can see it in your head, brilliant. But I think films are very good as well. And you can stop a film, you can rewind it, you can forward it. I think it's really good.
You're brilliant at explaining. I love your analogies.
I'm a bit
they make me remember things. They're brilliant. I love your analogies.
It was the soldering one last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, let's not get into that again. You might start shouting again.
Right.
Okay.
Right. We have next
question.
Not next question. First question.
Yeah. So Matthew.
Yes. Back on you.
Question for Andrew. What is the technique used and make ghani? I was working on a 14-karat gold ring for a client and fell in love with the blend of metals. Any help would be deeply appreciated.
The thing with ghani is there are several ways of doing it. The correct way of doing it is to make yourself 2 steel plates with holes drilled on the ends so you can act as a clamp. Have I got a clamp here? I don't. Anyway, it's like a clamp, and the idea is you get your metal. You get perhaps like a red metal, perhaps like a red gold, white gold, yellow gold, red gold, white gold, yellow gold, and you put them in strips on top of each other in perhaps rectangular sections like this. You put one on top of the other, make sure the surfaces are absolutely perfectly clean. You quench them in the acid. Some people will put some flux in between them, pack them on top of each other, until you've got a stack Then you put that within the clamp and clamp it really, really tight. Then you put that into a kiln, and it gets to a certain temperature when the metal will fuse, when the gold will fuse layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. And that's the idea. The clamp is to hold it tight, and all the metals will fuse. Then from that little billet, they call it, then what you can do is perhaps cut that in half and put that stack on top of that stack and do the same thing again, and you get this gorgeous layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. Then from that you can work it. You can put it through the rolling mill, you can flatten it, you can hammer it, you can twist it, you can bend it, you can whack files and hammers into the edge of it to bend it, to twist it, and so forth. And I think mokume ghani is Japanese for wood-like, if I remember right. So that is the reason why when you look at it, it looks like all the layers, all the grains, the rings of wood. That is the correct way of doing it. The cheat way of doing it is to perhaps get some silver and some copper, and some silver and some copper, and put solder in between each layer, and then heat it up so it all solders together. Then you put that through the rolling mill, and you can file it, you can bash it, you can twist it, you can bend it, you can bang doming punches into it to make dents, and you can file it, and then you get all these different layers. Now the problem that you've got if you do it that way, you've only soldered the layers, so when you come then to join them, you have the solder to contend with. And also because perhaps if you're using copper and silver, the copper reacts with the acids in the skin, and you're going to get certain problems. But you can buy mokume ghani, you can buy it in somewhere like Cookson, you can buy it already made, which is absolutely fantastic, and it saves you a hell of a lot of problems. So what was the question? That was the question, how to do it, wasn't it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. So you can do it. There are books out there, but you can buy the sheet already done. I think that comes with silver and copper, but as I said, the copper you're going to have problems with. Craft, yes, Joe, I actually had some off Craft quite a few years ago, and I made up that gorgeous round locket that was featured on the front cover of Making Jewellery magazine all those years ago. Let's go. So another question now. Okay.
Mary Ann is asking, can the same pickle be used for silver and white gold?
Silver and white gold, yes, it can. Because really all it does, it just strips my hand. I must remember that you're in the way of. Well,
I wondered what that was. It was your okay.
Yeah, this is my water bottle going in and out. So if I leave my water bottle on the floor, Andrew, it'll be fine. Yes, you can. You can use the same acid. Obviously, if you're doing a lot of copper, it's going to become slightly saturated with copper, and then when you put your silver into it, it'll be transferred onto your silver. But if you're using gold, you should be fine with it. You shouldn't have any problem at all. Make sure it's nice and warm. Have a little pickle pot like this, or a little baby bottle warmer, or a slow cooker, and have it nice and warm. It will work wonders. We have been having problems with I will say, we have been having problems with our internet connections over the past few days of the internet going down. So I apologise in advance if it should happen to dip today, because it did go down a little bit earlier today. So do apologise in advance. I don't know.
Are we on fibre?
What's fibre?
Fibre optic, well, you know what fibre is.
I don't think we got our fibre around here yet, have we?
Out in the sticks.
We are.
Yeah, we have.
We have. We do have fibre, but not necessarily on the shops.
Ah.
So I'll have to double check and pay the extra to get fibre, won't I? Maybe have another question, please, Dan.
Yes. How much would you recommend to spend on a mitre jig chenille clamp that will last at least a decade?
It depends on whether you're going to be using it for a decade. If you want to buy it and put it in a drawer, it'll last quite an indefinite amount of time. This was one from a company that I'm not going to recommend anymore, but you can buy them from lots of different places. What? Is that a good thing to say?
Just don't mention the company then if you're
going to
recommend them. Yeah,
I'm not going to recommend
them.
Andrew. I'm not going to say. Don't say this is from this. I'm not going to mention the company.
Right, so anyway, back to the
fact. This is a lovely little chap. But you can buy these quite inexpensively. You can buy them on eBay. You can buy them from lots of different places. £20, £30, perhaps something like this was going to be ideal. I don't know if it's going to last you a decade. If you're quite heavy-handed and you're using a big, heavy file and you abuse it and you drop it, it may not last 10 years. But anything that is going to be from a reasonable company, that's a reasonable price, £30, £40 and upwards, it's going to last you definitely. Pick up one for about a tenner and it's not going to last you. So spend 30 to 40 is what I'd be inclined to spend on something like this. You can get various different ones. This one is a 90, a 45 and a 30/60. So there's your 30/60 degrees here. That one's your 45 and that one down there is your 90. You can get some that are only 45 and 90, but I think that to have a 30-degree angle is advantageous as well. There we go. Are your live video chats recorded and available to view online? Yes, Debbie, these particular Q&As are always kept on YouTube. So you can watch whenever you want to on YouTube. And if you're new, Debbie, I hope you are, and you've got lots of friends, please, please subscribe. If you can subscribe, and if anybody who's watching who hasn't subscribed, please subscribe, because we are this close to getting our 100,000th subscriber.
How cool will that be?
We've got something massive planned for our 100,000th, not for the 100,000th subscriber. We're on 99,845. So we need another 155 subscribers. And we're going to be doing like a bit of a compilation, aren't we? And we got a giveaway that we haven't even talked about yet, but I want to do a massive giveaway for when we reach 100,000 to one of our YouTube subscribers, or perhaps 5 of them. I don't know. We'll have to see.
Oh, you've got to now, haven't you?
I've said it, so we've got to do it. I think it's good because 100,000, that's pretty good, 100,000 subscribers.
Pretty good, yeah.
Yes, it's pretty good. So I think it's something that needs to be celebrated and shouted from the rooftops.
Absolutely.
Next question, please, Louise.
Okay. Jilly is asking, any tips on using an upright ring stretcher?
What's flashing lights. What's happening? Flashing lights, Louise. What's happening? Tap to run notification. There is a task on Super Chat that failed to launch. It said,
no, Pepe.
Pepe Tools. Well. Good
Thank
to
you,
have
Pepe.
you. Even if it's only 99 cents. See, if you'd let me buy those saw blades, perhaps you could have donated a little bit more.
Let's have another question, shall
Right,
we?
upright ring stretcher. Let me go get an upright ring stretcher a minute. Bear with me a moment.
Have you got one?
I've got one. Upright ring stretcher. Mr. Azeman will be happy to know this is not a Durston. This is an upright ring stretcher, okay? This is one that is for sale. If anybody's interested in buying this upright ring stretcher, it is for sale. Drop me a line. Any tips? Stretching upon here, push the handle, they expand. Not a problem. Down here, on these rings here, put the ring in, put it in, push the handle towards you, it will actually shrink the metal. Now, you can only really do this with rings that do not have stones in place. If there's any stones in there, well then, obviously then, the holes are gonna open up and you're gonna lose the stones. But if they are solid, you can do it. If they're engraved, you can still stretch on here, and then also you can still reduce if there are any engravings on them, because you can put a cloth, let me turn this around, you can put a cloth on here, put the ring in place, bring it around, and you can still reduce it, you see, and the cloth protects the metal. So you can put engraved bands in here as well. Any tips? That's really about it, really. Make sure it's, if you are stretching it quite a few sizes, that it is nicely annealed as well. And if you've got a 22 carat band, you can stretch rings a long way, and you can also reduce them a long way as well. But they are really, really good. Okay then. I'm not quite sure what else to say about an upright ring stretcher. If you want this one, this is one of ours that we had from many years ago, and it is available for sale. I'm only going to ship in the UK because it's rather heavy, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I don't know, I've not lifted. Did I lift that one?
No, it is. It must be about 10, 12 perhaps?
I'll let you be the judge of that.
Yeah, okay,
Let's
so-
have another question. Shall
If you
we?
want- have another question? Yes, please. Louise, may we have another question, please?
Yes. Okay, where do we go? Janet is saying Sievert Pro 86 kit includes regulator in spec, arrived without regulator, but a hose failure valve. Can't get any sensible reply from Cooks and Gold. Can I use a HF valve instead of regulator? Set came labelled as EU kit.
I think you need to contact Hamilton Gas. Hamilton Gas, I think it's called gasproducts.co.uk. I think we got on our Stream Deck, we have them there.
Yeah.
So contact Hamilton Gas. They are the guys who we would get all our gas supplies from. Nice and cheap, excellent support, excellent service. Contact them and see what they say. They're in Ireland, but they ship to the UK and everywhere else. And that's about it. That's all I really got it. I really don't know. I wouldn't want to advise you on anything in particular. I'm not a gas expert. We have regulators, we have valves, we have, what's they called? Flashback arresters and so forth. But I don't want to risk saying anything just to be on the safe side. But contact Hamilton Gas, gasproducts.co.uk. Look them up on the internet, ring them up and ask them and they'll be able to help you because they're going to be the experts. Louise, may we have a next question, please?
Yes.
You okay there?
Yeah, fine, yeah. Okay, right. Sorry. I think, did I miss a question, Susanna? I have a hard time judging how high to make the bezel. I know in theory, but have a hard time. Any tips?
Okay, yes.
I don't know if I missed. I don't think I missed. Yeah.
I will use one of my new pens. Okay, so bezels. If you're doing cabochons can be really shallow. Oh, look at that black pen. Oh,
It's a cracking pen, that, isn't
cracking
it?
pen. I got 4 of these.
I know. It's brilliant you, don't I?
You can have cabochons that are like that, cabochons that are like that, okay? So what you really want to do is to have the bezels just high enough to come over the edge of that stone. So for instance, on this shallow one here, you wouldn't want anything higher than something like that on the side there. And likewise on the large one here, you have to have it high enough so there's going to be a gap from where your metal comes up, and there has to be a gap from when the metal is onto the stone. That is the little area that you're going to need. There's not much point having a bezel on here that does that, okay? Because you've got too much of a gap between the bezel and the stone, all right? Likewise on this guy over here, if you have a bezel that all the way down here and that bit of metal does not at all move over onto the stone, it will not hold it in place. So you obviously have to look, and people say it has to come 1/3 of the way up the stone. You can't use that because stones are different heights. But my argument is, as soon as the stone starts to move away from vertical, okay, the higher you go, the more distance you've got to bend the metal. And if there's a lot of distance, the metal is going to wrinkle and you're going to have problems. So personally, I would only do it as far as you need to have a little gap between the bezel, and it only has to be a fraction. It only has to come over a little bit to hold that stone in place. If you want a nice deep bezel, but you've got quite a shallow cabochon like that, and your bezel is down here, you can always pack it out with sawdust. You can always pack it out with some cardboard. You can pack it out with something like a thermolock even. So there's always that you can actually use. And that's about it. You can.
Yes.
Maybe have another question, please, Louise.
Yes.
I love my markers. Thank you for that.
You're very welcome. Jade is asking, how do you find out how much propane is in a tank?
You can go, hang on. You get your tank and you go there's a bit left in that. That's as best as I can offer you. If you only have a little regulator like this, okay? If you only have a regulator that is, there you go, that is like that, there is no way that you can tell how much you've got left in there.
Are they all like that then?
The majority are like that.
It's like medical oxygen. I know this is different. We'll have...
Yes, you can buy gauges that you can put onto the propane tanks, where it has 2 gauges. One will tell you how much gas is going to be left in it due to the pressure, and the other one then you can adjust how much pressure comes out of the tank. They're the best sort, but those are far more expensive than a simple regulator like that.
I suppose it depends on how difficult it is for you to get a refill, isn't it? And how desperate you need it there and then, yeah. Yeah, because we're quite lucky, because next door we basically have the ironmongers, and if you run out, we can run next door. We're very lucky. But I think if you, wrong camera, if you have a cylinder like that and you tap it and it's quite a high ring, ding, 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 something like that, there's not much propane in it. I know it's very technical, this. Ding, 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 ding. You've got to know what a full ding, ding sounds like. Okay, so a bit of, that has some propane left in it. Yeah. When you get a tuning fork and work out how many intervals. That'd be good. Buy a brand new one, or get it full, and then tap it, and it'll sound quite thuddy. It won't ring because it's full of propane. So the less propane there's in it, the less amount of pressure, and the more it will ring. Oh, Peter's saying we weigh them when new and when empty, so we know when nearing empty. Well, how easy is that? Why didn't I think of that? But yeah, brilliant idea. Yeah, that's cool. You know exactly then how much is in there. Yeah. Well, okay. Pour hot water on propane tank. Frost line will form at level of propane. Okay. I wouldn't want to risk that. Hot water. Any advice that is given in the chat is given without any, what's the word? We don't endorse the advice in the chat. We can't... Yes. Any advice undertaken from people in the chat is undertaken at your own risk. Yes, thank you. That's exactly. So this tank, it says 6 kilogram. So is that 6 kilogram when it's empty, or is that 6 kilogram when it's full? I don't know. Empty weight should be listed on the tank too. It says 6. It says 6, so I don't know. I'll just wait when it's full then. Yeah, that's... Yeah, cool. That's probably the safest and... Yeah. So how heavy does a 6 kilogram tank weigh when it's full? We'll have to do this, won't we? We'll have to do an experiment. Sorry, Rogue is saying sorry, warm, not hot, not a danger. Yeah, be very careful. Yeah. Tell you what we're going to have to do. We're going to go next door with our weighing scales, and we're going to weigh the tanks next door. You're going to look a bit weird doing that, but okay. Louise, I look weird anyway. I know you do things like that. There's no difference then, darling. Like testing out the tin openers. What did you do one day? Did you go over there with something? Used a tin opener and walked down? No, bottle opener. I didn't want to buy, corkscrew. I did. For some reason, we had a bottle of wine in work. I think it was Christmas time. It was Christmas. We didn't have a corkscrew. So I went next door into the ironmongers. And I simply went in there with my bottle of wine, went onto the shelf, got the corkscrew, opened the bottle in the shop, put the corkscrew back, and walked out with my next. You're a cheeky bugger, you are. Right. 122. I bought a Smith's Mini. Are you still saying to use a number 6 down to the smallest jump ring up to the largest jump ring closing? I read the instructions, but someone uses 5 and 5 psi for both tanks. Yeah, you can. Yeah. I got one on here. I use a number 6. There's lots of people. Who was I chatting to? Chatting to Lee about the Smith's little torch. And I got it by here. This little chap here. I use a number 5. No, I don't. Do I? No, number 6. I have a number 6, and the number 6 on the torch downstairs has been on there for years and years and years. I don't bother changing it. And the reason why I don't bother changing the tips is that because the smaller the tip, the less pressure has to come out of the tanks. So that would involve me going under the bench, finding the tanks, looking at the pressure, adjusting the pressure, changing the tip, all to change it and solder something very small. But what I do
is learn how to handle the torch, how to handle the flame. So I keep a number, I keep forgetting what number is it, 6. I keep a number 6 on the torch, and I use that for everything apart from melting down, when I'll use the burner, the larger burner, for melting down. So the number 6 stays on there because I'm lazy and I just don't want to go hunting around with the tanks to reduce the pressure. But yeah, I think like a number 6 has like 6 bar. But how do you know on a regulator what 6 bar is? This is my problem, so I don't bother. So yeah, I keep another number 6 on there all day, all night, and that's all I use. Maybe have another question, please.
Yes, this is Ioana. Is asking, any chances Andrew might be interested in making a series of films for At the Bench on different earring bases, the more complex ones in which one could set stones?
Earring bases?
Earring base, on different earring base.
Do you mean the fittings? Do you mean like the fittings that go onto... Yeah, is that what you mean? Do you mean things like, for argument's sake, you know, you could have like that, and then the wire then will be doing this, and a little jump ring, and then like, as in, sort of like setting stones in. What a fantastic mark! I don't know why I couldn't have these before. And set stones in. Do you mean things like that, and then perhaps like a stud, and then putting claws on that, something like that, to set stones in? Is that the sort of thing? The earring fittings? Do you think?
Is that what you mean, Ioana?
Yeah, is that what you mean? The actual earring fittings to set stones in? Let us know. Let us know. Let us know.
Okay.
And in the meantime, let's have another question, and perhaps I will come back to us and let us know. Okay. But yes, I can certainly do that for you, by all means, yes.
Laura is asking, will you please tell us again how you made your soldering station? I think it was solderite boards.
It was.
Hard or soft, and what size?
The boards I used were 12-inch square, 300 millimeters, and they were, how many did I use? I had, for the time being, I had one for the base, okay? Then I put one on the back, okay? Then I got another board and I cut that diagonally like this. So this was about 4 inches, that's about 4 inches, yeah. So that would be 8 inches, that would be 8 inches, okay? So that's like that. So that's one side, that's the other side. So from here then that will come down to that, like that there. I'm not using my finger, I'm going to get absolutely stinking with my finger.
Because it's such a good pen.
That'll come down, absolutely. Yeah, so that'll look like that, okay? So that's 1 board, 2 boards, that's 3 boards. What else did I do from then? Did I put... Oh, tell a lie, no I didn't. The board for the back obviously is a lot bigger because that's 8 inches, that's 4 inches. So this little board I cut off here, I actually put in the front lip by there. So that's a double thickness, and that stops anything then rolling off into here. So this X is that X down there, and that's A, that's B, so that's A, that's B. Does that make sense? 4 inch, 8 inch, or that could even be 3 inch, or that could even be 2 inch, and that could be 10 inch. It doesn't matter, but the sides like that. Then I just simply got some quite long pins, and I put a pins through the ends of the boards there, and likewise down here, and they go into the boards. They are, I don't know whether they're hard or soft, they are pretty hard. You've got to cut them with a saw. You can put pins through, or you can actually put small, thin, like number 6 screws through, and you can screw into the boards. Obviously, you're not going to be moving it around too much. So as long as it stays together in one place, that's all you're going to need. And if you really want to be doubly sure, you can always put another board on the bottom, so you've got like a double thickness that would really help with keeping whatever surface it's on absolutely heat free. But yeah, it's I think, did I show it? I think I showed it on one of the YouTube films about 2 years ago on the soldering station that Matthew brought out, and then I showed my homemade soldering station on that. So check that out. Another question.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Debbie is asking, can you recommend any 3 to 6 month jewellery classes in the UK?
Yeah, there is, I saw it on Bench Peg yesterday. It's the Association for Contemporary Jewellery. K2 Jewellery Academy. Can you pop it on the laptop, Lou? Would you mind? Is it letter K, number 2, Jewellery Academy? They do courses on there. Is it on there? Is it on, am I right?
Academy of Contemporary Jewellery?
Yes.
Yeah.
K2, was that right? K2
yeah.
Jewellery Academy. Oh, do you know, I amaze myself sometimes. So there we go. K2 Jewellery Academy, they do courses.
So is this London, is that?
Yeah, I think
Courses,
it is it?
all courses, diploma and intro.
Yep.
Ooh.
Yeah. So they do
Let's have a
courses.
look. Level 3 diploma.
Yeah. That makes sense to everybody? Yeah.
SQA, what's SQA?
Don't know.
Oh, it's very comprehensive, isn't it?
Yeah. Level 2. Yeah.
It's a pretty
Level
penny.
So go and check them out. It's k2jewelleryacademy.com.
London.
London.
London. Shall I put the link?
Yeah, please, if you don't mind.
I'm not sure if I can because I
Double check that. Pop it in the chat. Perfect. Thank you, Louise, for that. So go and check them out. I just saw them yesterday. They seem to be very good. They seem to have a quite comprehensive list. You know, making a hinge for jewellery. They do 2-day courses, 3-day courses over a period of time. So check them out.
Is it just purely contemporary?
No.
They do, yeah.
They do like traditional techniques as well. Obviously, it's traditional techniques, but perhaps with a contemporary finish or contemporary feel, perhaps.
Oh, Scottish Qualifications Authority. Thank you, Gilly. That's what SQA is. Oh, and somebody else did as well. Sorry, yeah.
Good. Okay, thank you very much for that.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that. There we go. Okay.
Okay,
what's the thickness? Best thickness earring post to use, 0.8mm to 1mm is the correct thickness. Oh, there we go. I think they've answered that already. 20 gauge, yes. There we go. Next question, please, Louise.
Okay. Julia is getting little blobs of white stuff growing in her pickle. Safety pickle from Cookson. Do you ever get this? Is it dangerous? And with all the copper in my pickle, I'm surprised anything grows.
It could well be the fact that the water is evaporating and you're getting a really concentrated solution in it. And what you're seeing is let's have a look at what I've got in mind. You see, even on the outsides of mine, we've got bits of white all around the outside, and little bits are actually flaking off, and that is due to the safety pickle being on perhaps like a blob that then evaporates, and what's left is the actual powder that is left from the safety pickle. It could well be that. And in fact, I've got it all around the outside of here. So I expect it's because the water is evaporating and it's turning into the powder, the safety pickle all over again. You can see that in my dish by here. You can see this here. So that could well be what it is. If it is something that's growing and it's obviously very watery, try adding some more water to it. If there's still something growing in it, dispose of it and get some fresh. It's pretty cheap. And to have some nice fresh pickle, you'll be amazed at how amazing white pickle is when it is brand new. Yeah, may I have another question, please, Louise?
Okay, Andre is asking, is there a cheap way to finish pieces without having a tumbler or polishing with the flex shaft?
A cheap way? Yes, use your elbow grease. Go through all the different grades of emery paper, right down to something like 3000 grit, and you should be able to get a perfect finish. That's the cheapest way of doing it. It's not the fastest, it's the most labor intensive job I know of. So I would always perhaps try and get a Dremel or a flex shaft, or even pick up like a bench grinder, really cheap. You can pick them up, if then where you are, if you're in the UK, go to Screwfix, something like that. I've got one in the front room that I've just acquired. It's a Titan. There's no guards on it. There's no those wheels on it. And what the person has done, they've put on little piggy tails, and those are the little they're called piggy tails because they're like that, and then that tapers down, and there's a thread.
That's not like a pig's tail.
It's
they go like
that. It's a piggy tail. It's like a piggy tail.
Oh, right. That's so it does. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Piggy tail.
Like yeah. That's a pig's tail. You didn't. The top's. That's not a pig. Go on.
So the shaft goes into there, and I think there's like a little grub screw that goes through, and they're tapered because then you will put on your polishing mops, and you can put that, and you can convert any motor. You can even buy a motor from a washing machine, and that's a single side. Exactly the same thing. You can do that. That has a shaft. You can buy these pigtails. Make sure you get the right one for the right side motor that you got it on, and you can convert any motor into a polishing motor that will accept normal polishing mops. Cheap and cheerful. Next question.
Going back to Iona,
yeah.
Question about earrings. I googled the terms for earring backs, omega backs, lever backs, that sort. So
right, okay.
Backs, yeah.
Okay, so we need to do it on backs and like scrolls and okay. All right, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's no worries.
Trevor, what do I need to do to get the email? Trevor, you shouldn't have to do anything. If you're a paid member, you should automatically get the email. So if you don't get one in the next couple of days, check your junk folder. And if you still don't get it within the next, say, 3 days, drop me a line at louise@andrewberry.co.uk and I will send you the link.
But they will be a few hours, perhaps a day or so. There's thousands to go out. But they will be going out to you, but as Louise says, check your junk folders. Tapered spindle, exactly. Piggy tails. Louise, maybe have another question, please.
Okay. Yeah, that's spam.
Sandy, we started to send them out at 2 o'clock. So literally they've only had 2 hours to be going out. There's several hundred every hour, so it could take a little while to reach you. So keep checking your mailboxes, and as Louise said, in a few days' time, if you haven't had one, get in contact with Louise and she'll send you the form.
Yeah. Okay. 122 is saying gold for propane, oxy or oxy-ace. It's just about heat, not contamination, yes. If the question is carbon, isn't a graphite stick the same carbon contamination? Silver is oxy-propane, so heat won't vaporize it, yes?
I don't know. I've never used acetylene.
Okay.
I've always used oxygen and propane, and I found that's no trouble at all. Contamination, I don't know. Not sure. I don't understand. I can't answer that because we don't have any acetylene, so I really wouldn't know, unfortunately. Yes, Trevor, Cookson did manage to get Hugo. Unfortunately, we didn't. So
yeah, shame.
Shame. Yeah, shame that. We could have asked a nice load of questions. But yeah, next question, please, Louise.
Never mind. Haven is a student in college getting a degree in jewellery design.
Nice.
Yeah, fabulous. What should I look for or start with once I graduate? That's the $64 million question, isn't it?
It is. If you check out our All That Glitter interviews with the jewellers from the programme All That Glitters, check out some of the questions that we asked them, because we asked them pretty much the same sort of question. How would you start out? If you had to do it all over again, how would you start out? And how did you start out? And out of the, how many did we have? 6? We interviewed 6 in the end, and each person had a different story to tell. So there is no definite way that I can tell you that you're going to start off. Some of them started off with a degree in university, some started off in college, some started off right at the bottom, sweeping floors in a jewellery store and worked their way up. Some have gone into university and so have gone and worked for somebody else. Someone worked in university and then set up on their own. So there's lots of different ways that you can actually explore your career. I can't tell you exactly which one is going to be the best way to do it. Your best way is purely to check out the films on YouTube here. Check back the last 6 with All That Glitters contestants, the jewelers. Watch them and see what you think when it comes to what they said.
So many answers to that question.
There's so many avenues, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I can't tell you exactly the right one for you to take, but don't be disappointed if when you come out with a degree you don't start halfway up the ladder. You really will have to probably start low down and work your way up to prove yourself that what you've got, because a degree won't necessarily guarantee you anything.
What we can say is, as long as you're determined, which you obviously are, to be doing a degree and, you know, putting all that effort in, then as long as you're determined, don't give up, and you'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prepared to put in that graft, in the work, the hard work, the learning, the patience. Yeah, you'll get there.
Yeah, you might have to try a couple of different things, but you know, it's like anything in life, isn't it?
Yeah, you're going to find something that'll click.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just keep going, and you'll do it.
So there we go. Yes, Louise's earrings do look gorgeous. Any particular designer there, Louise?
Sean, yeah.
Sean's talons, yeah. Maybe another question, please, Louise.
Okay. Yes, Magic Stones is asking, can I use a brick to pour some melted silver to create a small ingot?
Yes, you can. I think if you can carve out a channel within the brick, obviously it's going to be slightly textured and patterned due to the nature of the brick, but yes, I'm sure you can do that, yes. Why not? Give it a go. Next question, please do. That's quite a nice, easy one.
Okay, 122 is saying screw type coin pendant jump ring broke at the top of the screw case. Solder with screw in only, whole pendant closed or screw out.
I know exactly.
I can guess.
No, I know
but
what this is all about. Yeah,
okay,
I know exactly what this is all. Despite the very cryptic question, correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, you've got like a bezel that goes round, yeah? So you've got a bezel that goes round, and on here you've got half, like a D-section, and on this side here you've got half a D-section, yeah? And there's lines down there, and there's lines down there. And when those come together, those will make up a screw. Yep. Is this what you're talking about now? So then, when this comes together, you've got the screw, this on here that has all the screw thread, and this is jumping on the top of there. When that comes together, that goes over the top. Screw it together. It holds together.
Steady on there, old boy.
Steady on.
Got a drink.
I got one here. Okay. I think this is what you mean, but yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Said the man in the main. So then, what I think I would advise you to do is basically put something on the threads so the solder doesn't flow. Where it's snapped off, or if you're cutting it and it's broken halfway up.
No.
No, so I'm all wrong.
Screw is horizontal.
Yeah. That makes sense, yeah? I don't know. I without seeing it, it's going to be impossible for me to give you a...
Does it mean the screw goes... No,
I don't know.
Wouldn't be right, would it? 122, can you email us?
Yeah.
Or open a ticket, or...
basically get in contact with us.
Yeah.
Email us a picture of what you mean. Is it something like that? If it is, you should be able to solder them back. If you want to hold them together, you can always then put the screw...
Screw goes through the eye, Susan's suggesting.
Very hard. There may be like a ring that goes round. I don't know. Get in contact with us. Send us a picture, and we should be able to help you out. But if it's not that, I'm not quite sure what you mean. So yeah, so I do apologise. But please do send us a picture. You can send it to louise@andrewberry.co.uk.
Yes.
And we will certainly have a look for you. I shall write it on here, LOUISE at ANDREWBERRY.co.uk. Nice pen. Next question, please.
Okay.
Like a Jubilee clip. Okay, send us a picture, we'll have a look.
Okay. Mary Ann is saying, what are your thoughts on using soldering clay to hold pieces while soldering?
Yeah, you can. You can get soldering clay. I think Kate Wolf gave me some to play around with. It's okay. I personally would, depends on what you're doing and how you're going to be soldering everything together. Personally, I would use something like perhaps a cool heat thermogel to hold the pieces in place, because that's what I've got handy. We've got a PUK, so we would tack things in place as well. But if you've got the soldering clay, it's great, but remember that it will absorb heat. So if you've got an item within the clay will absorb the heat. There's moisture in it, it'll dry out. So it may take away some of the heat from the item that you've got in it. So allow more time to heat up that little piece to solder. But yeah, you can certainly use that. If you use things like a thermogel or a cool heat, that won't absorb the heat like the clay does. And you may heat up the job a lot quicker, but it's entirely up to you, whatever you've got. But yes, you can certainly use that, yeah. Next question, please.
Okay, Stuart is asking for a simple way to finish off fine silver necklaces, e.g. clasp.
Polish it with...
I think you mean a finding?
A finding, yeah.
I'm guessing?
Yeah. Polish it, yeah, polish it with a flex shaft. If you've got the jump ring, or a clasp on a chain, wrap it around your peg a few times so the little finding is on the top, then get your flex shaft and go over it to polish it.
Making a simple finding.
Yeah.
That's what you're doing, yeah.
I think, yeah. Depends on what equipment you've got to hand, or you can simply get a brass brush with some hot soapy water and go over the brass brush over the piece with it, and that will give it a bit of a shine as well. Depends on what stage of manufacturing it is.
Making a finding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Polishing.
No, making a finding.
I thought you said polishing it.
Making a... Hang on.
Hang on.
No. Finish off a
Finish off.
Finish off, e.g. a clasp.
Finish off a clasp.
Making a finding. Making a simple end piece, clasp, a finding. Am I using the right word?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, when you said finishing off, I thought it was how to finish it.
Yeah, I know that's what you thought, but that's not what he means. Making the clasp, yeah. That's okay, Stuart, I got you, yeah, I know what you're saying, yeah.
S-clasp.
Making the finding.
S-clasp. Piece of wire.
I was on the same page as you, Stuart.
Well, all right. Getting big head now, just because you were noticing the jewellers and I wasn't.
Was recognised.
So, piece of wire, I don't know, what about 50 millimetres in length, taper the ends, okay, so we're going to taper the ends like that, okay, taper the ends, okay, melt it on the end so you've got a little bit of a ball on the end, okay, so ball, thin, thicker, thin, ball. Okay, easy. Then what you want to do, you want to bend it into that shape. Yep, like that. So there's your ball. Just thin, thick, thin. Yep, easy like that. Then all you got to do, you've got your chain. You've got your chain attached onto this one here. This is your chain coming round. This is your chain here. What you can do is open that up, put the chain through, then you can solder that closed. And then you've got this, perhaps just have that bent slightly like that. There we go, like that there. Yep, then you can then attach the other chain through here and you can hang that down. Cheapest, simplest, easy way of making it. And this can be squeezed closed. They use that quite often with the pure gold necklaces that you get, like with the Indian jewellery, that sort of thing, when you can't have manufacturing with springs, something like an S clasp like that. So we come like that, yep, and that's thin, thicker, thin. There we go, like that. S-clasp, the cheapest, best way of making a clasp. You can get other ones that sort of come around and do that sort of thing, then you have a ring over here, but this is bent in a different way. So, no, don't bother, just make an S-clasp. Right, next question.
Okay, ST Tuber is saying there is going to be a one-day gemstone course related to Sally's book.
Oh wow, nice.
How cool. Okay, Diane just got a parcel from Betts, GRS bits plate and adjustable shelf just for my ball vise.
Nice.
Can't wait to get started.
Good.
Yay, fabulous. 122, stuck a welding rod horizontal on a half cast. I know it's thin and about 4 inches, 10 centimetres long. Should I tilt the box with a washer so the flow runs down the tube half or run the crucible along the line? Thank you.
Oh, these are so technical questions. I'll try and work this out. Read it
Shall I read it
again?
again?
Read it again.
Stuck a welding rod horizontal on a half cast.
Half cast. Okay. Not quite sure, but go on. Yeah.
I know it's thin
Yeah.
and about 4 inches / 10 centimetres long.
And then, okay.
Should I tilt the box with a washer
Right.
so the flow runs down the tube half?
Right.
So it's okay.
Yeah, I would.
Or run the crucible along the line.
I'm not quite sure what you mean, but if you're doing things like sand casting, I would always be inclined to use gravity. Gravity is your friend when it comes to sand casting. Not quite sure what you mean. Are you wanting to cast like a welding rod or rod? If that is the case, if you have the metal coming in here and this is your mold here in 2 parts, this is your sprue here, and you want to fill a void here, it will work, but that isn't the best way of doing it. What you really want to do is have the whole thing vertical. You know, I'm not quite sure in this situation what it is, and then pour the silver downwards. So with this, the silver has to come in, or whatever metal has to come in, and it has to turn a corner. Okay, so it comes here, it's got to turn. All this time it's cooling down. Then it has to fill the mold. So it's cooled down, you've interrupted its journey. I know you can perhaps tilt it at a slight angle that way. Any sort of tilt is better, but if you can do it vertically, so as you pour, the metal runs straight the way down and fills it. Far better results, more guaranteed results vertical like that than actually casting like that. I'm not quite sure exactly what you mean, but if that's what you're on about, tilt it or have it vertical is going to be your best option with that.
Yeah, we're getting a little bit of buffering.
Yes. Yes, we got buffering now for me. Not, there we go. But should we still carry on, Louise?
Yeah, if you want.
Let us carry on.
Okay, we're definitely buffering. Lou is asking, can we buy ghani in gold?
I don't know of anybody who sells it in gold, to be honest. It's the 5 o'clock buffer. It is, you're right.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody who has gold ghani. I'm sure there's somebody out there who can make it for you, absolutely.
We did the bezel height question, didn't we?
Yeah.
Susanna's bezel height question.
With regards to Horatia, how can I straighten wire? Put it through the roller mill as it comes in a coil, but now it has some kinks in it. What you can do is put it through the roller mill just to reduce it a fraction, and as you're coming out, pull it as it comes out and pull it straight. So get someone to wind the handle and someone to pole it. Then you should be getting a nice straight wire. If it's thin enough, and you want a long length, it's thin enough, anneal it when it should come from the suppliers nicely annealed, fasten it into a vise, and then pull it with a pair of pliers and pull it and give it a bit of a pull, and the metal then will just give slightly and it'll be perfectly die straight. Maybe everyone in Wales boils the kettle for a cup of tea at 5. You never know.
Trevor, everyone in Wales boils the kettle all day long, every day.
Absolutely. You can put it through hardwood. There is several ways. If you've got some short lengths, you can always get like a steel block, put it upon the bench, and then roll the block over the top like that.
Got no data.
And that will work. We have no data. Internet's gone down. Tum-ty-tum-ty-tum. I hate the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're back up. Yeah, we're
We
back
back?
up.
Are we
Yeah,
back?
we're back
Are we
up because I'm
back?
rolling. Yeah, okay, we're back up. Maybe another question then, please, Louise.
Okay, Debbie has a small jewellery group of friends in San Francisco. I will send them your information to subscribe. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much indeed.
And if anybody else has got a group or friends or people they know might like the live stream, joining in, we always welcome new people.
The films and At the Bench on YouTube film as well. There's hundreds of films on there. Please do come along and subscribe. I'd love you to.
Yeah, invite them to subscribe. That would be amazing.
Because when we get to 100,000, everybody who is a subscriber, it'll be fun. I have no idea what I'm doing.
You need to be careful what you say now, Barry.
I was going to say everybody can have a prize. That's 100,000.
Exactly, and then you get carried away. Shush.
No, that's not a chance. Not a chance. Next question, please, Louise.
Right. Mike is trying to make a solid bezel for a modified cushion cut stone. It is a cushion shape, but it has pointed corners. How can I measure for the correct length of metal? Should I file miter joints?
Yeah, but make it in two parts. You have your strip of metal, okay? Make a groove, yeah. I was busy on the old phone today, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
So make a cut like that, yeah. Okay, if it's a cushion cut, so I guess it goes like that. Yeah, so it has corners. What I'd advise you to do is to ignore what I just said. Is to get your piece of metal and just bend it. Yeah, just. Oh, Jason's done there.
How come Jason's back?
Just drop that off. Sound like Jason was back. So this curve here matches the curve. So this curve here, yeah, matches this curve here. Okay. Then you file a groove in it like that. Okay, that's your groove. Then you bend it. So basically you then will get a piece of metal that is that shape. Yep. That now will fit on that side of the stone. You do another piece exactly the same as that on this side, and those pieces then will overlap like that. So then you will get the correct shape bezel. But it is important to have these two L pieces like that, or even have it like that. Okay, then you can move the metal to fit exactly around the bezel, and that way you get nice sharp corners on the stone. If you check out some of the films on At the Bench, we did a couple of films like this, square cabochon setting, exactly that technique, works every single time. Don't try and get a long piece of metal and cut a groove, cut a groove, cut a groove, cut a groove, and then try and bend it around the stone, because it will never work. Two L shapes like that will work. Do you know what I mean? So there's your metal like that there. Yeah. Yeah, so that comes out further, doesn't it? Yeah, there we go. Like that. Do that, and you can get the perfect corners for the bezel every time. Are we on now? Excellent connection now. Mm-hmm. Cool, cool, cool. Next question then, please, Louise. Should we have this as our last one? Because it's about 5:10 now, isn't it? Okay. So I think we should have this as our last question.
Right. Sandra is asking, I would like to get a Fordham hammer hand piece. Can I use it on my Fordham SR, or do I need a different motor? This question comes up all the time on all the forums. People say, don't get an SR, you've got to get an LX. Don't. Get yourself an SR, Fordham SR, okay? In the UK, our labels are red. In the US, your labels are blue. Red, 240 volts, blue, 120 volts. Not a lot of people know that. Sorry. All right, so don't buy two pendant motors. Buy the SR, okay? Hammer hand pieces will burn out if you rev them hard, so don't rev them hard. You want to keep it below 6,000 revs, okay? How would you know what 6,000 revs is? These pendant motors go at 18,000, I do believe. 18,000. So if you think about, push your foot on the pedal, listen to the sound, hear how fast it's going, reduce that. And if you've got a sound that's going,
bring it down, and you can hear then how far you come down. So bring it down to roughly around about 1/3. Do you know what I mean? So if it's going and it's spinning fast, and bring it down so it's slow, and that should be fine. So don't over rev it, and you should be fine. And anyway, a hammer handpiece, it's always nice to have a handpiece that goes when you come to hammer it over, and you can do that with a Fordham SR. If you've got a Fordham LX, that's fine. What is the difference, Andrew, I hear you say? The speeds and the torque. The LX does not go to 18,000 revs, and to be honest, you don't really need a pendant motor to go that fast, but an LX is great, so there's not much point having two. An LX has more torque, the speed is a little bit lower than the SR, but if you've got an SR, keep it, buy a hammer handpiece, just don't burn it out, don't have it revving at a high speed, have it as a nice sort of, and that'll be fine. I'm starving.
Are you?
I'm absolutely starving. I
didn't have much for lunch,
I
did
had a
you?
beef sandwich for lunch.
You did?
That's all I had.
I know.
And you had the same as well.
I did have a sneaky packet of crisps. I can't lie.
Go on, let's have one more question then, please, Louise.
Okay. I wasn't ready for this. Hang on. Oh, golly, how far did we get?
Anyone.
Skip to the end.
Anyone. Go on. Anyone.
But
roughly around by there then. Yeah.
Okay, Nikki, hi, what's the best way of making a hollow and a solid 10mm cube of sterling silver?
A hollow and... Grab yourselves a PUK, a pack.
Simple as that.
Simple as that. I've just sold mine. just sold one. And what you want to do, the best thing to do, if you want to make a square, it is really hard to make an exact square, whether it be hollow or solid. The easiest thing to do is to get a piece of rod, 10mm square, yeah, mark up 10mm, cut it. It's a hell of a job.
PUK, it's like a pulse
spot
welder,
yes,
isn't it?
Yeah, arc welder, pulse welder, yes. But anyway, they're thousands and thousands of pounds. But you'll understand that when I come to that in a minute. So if you get yourself a 10mm bar of silver, you can cut a 10mm section off and you can use that. The hardest thing is getting it exactly 90 degrees and getting all the faces parallel. It is virtually impossible. It's the hardest thing to do. We've been asked to make up square studs. It's like 5mm, 6mm square studs. Really hard to do. It's very hard. Even if you use something like a mitre jig, it's virtually impossible because you file the one side, you look and go, oh, that's not quite right, and you file there and you go, oh my gosh, it's out that side. Really difficult. If you want to make it hollow, get...
Don't say a rolling mill.
6 pieces. Get 6 pieces of 10mm square. Yeah, 10mm. Make sure they're exactly 10mm square and just solder them together. If you had a PUK, lamp at pulk, or an Orion, it is so easy to come along and put another piece by there and go and pulse weld it. It's the easiest thing. Then you get another one in here and you go you pulse weld it and you and you pulse weld it, and then you put another on the other side and so forth, and you can make up a square nice and easy. If you don't have a pulse welder, you're just going to have to do it all by hand. You got your soldering block. You put your little piece of metal here. This is your 10mm piece here. You put a 10mm piece by here. You solder it. You get a mitre, a tri-square to get this angle exactly right. Then you can turn that round so your bit of the metal is by here, and you solder the next one, and you can construct it bit by bit that way.
That's better. That's the more therapeutic way. Who needs a perk?
You're pleased with this puck today. You know, from Derbyshire.
I know.
Nice man, Mark. Right, so there we go. So that would be the best way to do it. But it is, you see, the thing is, your eye knows what a square should look like. Your eye knows what a circle should look like. And your eye is very, very good at weeding out the slight imperfections. If it's a funny shape, you know, it's rhomboid or whatever other shapes I can't even think of. Your eye's pretty good because it thinks, oh, that's not a nice shape, and you can't. But squares, you know, your eye knows what a square should look like. It can see angles, it can see shapes, and it's really hard to make. But do it in 10mm square sheets. I wouldn't worry about trying to miter the corners. So where your edges are here, I wouldn't worry about trying to miter. I can't even think how you can miter them. Then if I do it that way, there's not much point trying to miter the corners so the next one comes along and to miter. That is going to be so difficult. So just join them. You're right there playing with your eyes?
Yeah.
You've got to do something with those eyes, haven't we?
I know.
So I think that should be it for our question and answer today. Nice pens, thank you, Louise. I'm really happy with them. I hope you're all pleased. Stop playing with your eyes. Stop rolling your eyes at me. Okay, I think that's about it. Yes. I do apologise for the drop in connection a little bit earlier on. I'm not quite sure what's happened. Kenneth, you're back. Hello, Kenneth. Good of you to join us again today. Don't forget, please, if you like to share this, give us a little thumbs up. We'd absolutely love you to. There's still one or two people giving us a thumbs down, but I've gone past that, gone past caring about those people. And thank you very much also for Pepe for the donation of 99 cents.
Thank you for your 99 cents worth.
Much appreciated. Louise, any other question? Anything you want to say?
No.
Nothing at all.
No.
I'll check out the chat in a minute. So there we go. That's about it for today. Thank you everybody who joined us today. And don't forget, please tell your friends every Monday 4 p.m. we do a question and answer. We had 102 concurrent viewers today, so that's because I did not publicise it. But thank you everyone. Laura, yes, please give this film a thumbs up if you liked it. Really do appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed already, please get your friends to subscribe because we desperately need to get to 100,000. I'd love to get to 100,000 on a live. That would be awesome,
Be
wouldn't
good, wouldn't it? Can
Yeah,
you imagine?
be good. Woo! Party poppers, champagne.
Got it all ready somewhere, have you?
No, we haven't got there yet. Anything you want to say, Danny?
No, I don't think so. I think you said it all.
Don't forget, next Monday is going to be a different format.
Yes.
Kerry Gregory from Gemology Rocks is going to be here answering Louise's questions because she has loads of them, and also from your questions as well. So please join us at 4 p.m. when Louise and Kerry will be sat here and I'll be sat over there answering the questions. Are you going to be in charge of this as well?
No.
No? You're in charge of, I'll be in charge of that.
Can't be trusted with that, no.
So that'll be next Monday. It'll be no jewellery question and answer. It'll be a gemology and gemstone question and answer. People like the colour of your dress.
Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, Susan.
If you know anybody who is specifically interested in gemology, then do invite them along as well.
I'm going to try if we can get something.
We need to get something, a shareable sort of thing out to people.
Yeah.
We're
going to do the graphics over the next day or so. I need to get in contact with Kerry, ask her a few questions, then we can get some graphics done and get them publicised over Facebook and social and Insta and whatever. Yeah, so everybody, thank you all very much indeed for coming on today. Anything else?
No.
Don't think so.
I don't think so.
Good.
No.
Okay.
Excellent.
We're going to go. We will see you next Monday, 4 p.m. for a gemology special, gemstone special. So get your questions in, and we will see you all next week. Let me say goodbye.
See you next week for the gemology special.
You're in the hot seat.
I can't wait. I'm so excited.
You're in the hot seat next week.
You'll be the boss next week.
You're the boss. Yeah, that's the boss seat over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're the boss. Everyone, thank you very much for joining us today. We will see you next Monday, 4 p.m. with Kerry Gregory from Gemology Rocks. Take care. We will see you. Learn Media. Hang on. Learn Media. Let me have a look. Has the subscribers gone on before you go? I've lost my this says no. In fact, it's gone down one.
No!
It was 846, it's 845. Shame on you, shame on you. Anyway, don't worry about it. We will see you next Monday for our lovely question and answer with Kerry Gregory, Gemology Rocks. We'll get it out on socials, share it with your friends, and we will see you next week. Oh, you
thought they had subscribed and subscribed and unsubscribed.
You never know.
So please don't do that.
No. Tell your friends. We will see you next Monday. Say goodbye, Louise.
Goodbye.
See you next Monday. Fade to black in a moment, and we will see you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye.